many people thought that they had the worst glow up ever? Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Sunkissed, and I'm back with an all-new video. Sorry if the lighting looks a little different, if it's throwing you off. Obviously, we got a red light in the back today. It's raining outside, so I had to use a couple of lights that I had. And they're pretty bright, and it made my skin look a little ashy. And then when I put on this red light, it just kind of balanced everything out. And yeah, you may not even have noticed that I was using different lighting, and it's all because of my trusty red light. Anyway, so I know a lot of you, when you first read this title, y'all was probably like, okay, what is Sunkissed about to get into today? And I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna get into today. Oh, well, you already figured it out actually, because the title is not clickbait. Yeah, we're talking about growing up ugly, specifically me growing up ugly. And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna have pictures, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry. Just kidding, we're not gonna cry. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on your notification bell, because you don't want to miss when I post new content, okay? Because it's just gonna get crazier and crazier every week, and this is the simple stuff. So okay, so growing up ugly, where do I start? Where do I begin? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start with little Sunkiss, little Coco, little Tiff. Oh, she was adorable. Like, seriously, I was the cutest little kid. The younger me, like the younger me, baby to 9 years old, maybe 10 years old, I was adorable. I really was. Life was good. People were nice. I was cute. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And this was before I even moved to Georgia, because I was born in Virginia. So I pretty much spent like my childhood years in Virginia, and it was cool, you know? And then when we moved to Georgia, I don't know, maybe like everything changed. I don't know if it was the fact that we moved. I don't know what it was, the Georgia air, but I just started changing and I didn't even notice it. You know, looking back, of course, I was going through some changes growing up, because we all do. But that's when it all started. Middle school. I had been in Georgia for about a year. And like I said, I think it was the Georgia air, because I was a cute little thing, okay, prior to Georgia. But then I came to Georgia, and I was an interesting character. Oh, Hannah. Oh my God, somebody should have helped me out with my picture taking. And I always love to smile like that. Oh my gosh, I needed Jesus. Some of you may have known me, some of you may have not. I was a very interesting character, very weird, wasn't very put together very well. Yeah, that's just how I was, and I just didn't care, but I cared, but I didn't. So middle school was kind of rough. A lot of people were very mean to me. It wasn't until middle school when I realized that I was dark-skinned. Isn't that crazy? Because a lot of people like to point out that I was dark-skinned, and I just didn't even think that I was even that dark. Like, I really just didn't. Like, even to this day, I'm just like, yeah, I'm dark-skinned, but I'm really not that dark. Like, it's so crazy, like, how much people haven't seen, because there are other darker shades than me. Many, 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 many. Like, I'm not even on the end of the spectrum. So, like, I could only imagine if I was even darker than I was. Like, but anyways, because kids are they're terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I had my fair share of saying some really crazy things to people and not realizing, like, you probably shouldn't say that. I don't know how old I was when I realized that you just can't say certain things out loud. But man, I kind of wish I kept some of those qualities because some people deserve to hear some things sometimes. But anyway, people would say a lot of horrible things to me. They would say that my skin was too dark. I remember once I got called boogeyman. A group of people in school in my class were calling me boogeyman, and I didn't quite understand because from what I know, boogeyman is Mike Myers. That's what I called boogeyman growing up, and I didn't freaking look like Mike Myers. I was like, what are the people talking about? But it's not look like boogeyman, obviously, because they were referring to my dark skin. So so funny. Talk about my hair, they'll talk about the way that I dressed. You know, sometimes they'll say like I dress like a white girl. I'm just like, what does a fucking white girl dress like? Okay, well, we know what a white girl dress like, but we was all dressing crazy back in them days. So it's just like, what makes my crazy worse than your crazy? Because your crazy definitely way worse than mine, okay? Honestly, I would go back and tell my younger self, like, if I really could have appeared to myself in my dreams when I was younger, I would have been like, yo, F these kids, they ain't nothing, they ain't nobody, like, keep your tunnel vision, do what you gotta do, and all this will be over real quick, real soon. May not feel like it, but one day you'll be 25, doing a freaking YouTube vlog, talking about how much you hated everybody. So, like, I remember I sometimes would go to my mom and I would, like, talk to her, and because I would be sad sometimes. Like, for the most part, like, I was the type of person where I did not linger on things too long. Like, if something, like, made me mad earlier on in the day, like, I'm not going to be thinking about it at night. Like, I'm going to have moved on past that situation and be thinking about other things about my life. So, for the most part, whenever things happen at school, like, I really wasn't thinking about that at home. But there were times where, like, I would think about it and I would look in the mirror and ask myself, like, am I ugly? You know? And I would go to my mom and I would say, hey mom, like, I was just wondering, am I ugly? And then she'll be like, who's calling you ugly? Somebody's calling you ugly at school. I will go up there and I'm like, no. Don't go up there. No one's calling me ugly. I was just wondering, am I ugly? She's like, no, honey, no, sweetie, you're not ugly. You're beautiful. You have beautiful skin, you know, because I asked her, like, if I was too dark. She was like, you have beautiful skin. You're beautiful. You have, you know, you're amazing. You're beautiful on the inside. Very comforting words that actually made me feel good. You know, she even brought up a point. She's like, your skin is so beautiful. There are people out there going to the tanning salon, spending money to make their skin look like yours. And I was like, wow, that's true. She's right. But the irony is the people that get the tans weren't the people that was talking about my skin. So moving on. Yeah, I mean, she did tell me that, of course, I would need to, you know, put myself together. Obviously, she did kind of keep it real with me. She's like, of course, you need to keep up with your hair. You need to keep up with this. You need to keep up with that, you know. And I listened to her, but, like, I heard her, but I didn't, like, listen to her, if that makes sense. So fast forward, we got 7th grade, 8th grade, terrible. I got silent lunch a lot, okay? Like, even the teachers weren't even that nice to me, okay? And I didn't even have, like, any friends to really help me survive. You know what I'm saying? Nancy Classified School Survival Guide, I was a loner, okay? Because I didn't have nobody that I could really, like, look back and say, like, yo, they had my back. Like, nobody. And that's messed up because I would have had somebody's back, but y'all didn't deserve me. I really and truly think that people were really haters. Like, people didn't want me to shine. Like, people didn't want me to do what I had to do. Like, I remember in 8th grade, I got on a step team and people was mad. Like, people was really mad. Like pretty much like all the freaking black girls in the freaking school tried out for the step team and only like 20 something girls made it. And I was one of them. Shook. I really was. And a lot of the girls was mad. I'm just like, just because you can't dance don't mean that you gotta put your... Anyways, so like people just never wanted to let me shine. I remember it was the last day of school, junior year. I was walking around with my friend, was walking around the lockers and like walk around the school, and like there was this guy, like he came up to me and then he was like, I think you are so beautiful. And then like that was the first, and I was just so taken back because that was the first time that any guy had ever like came up to me and was like complimenting me, you know, like ever. I was just like, thank you. And then of course it was like the last day of school. So like all summer I was just like, oh wow, I'm definitely gonna talk to this guy like when school starts back up again. So, you know, the summer goes by, school starts back up. It's like the first day of school, like within the first week of school, like I remember I told these two girls that this guy, didn't know his name, that this guy said that I was cute, and I showed them who he was. And basically, long story short, like I never really talked to him. Like it came to a point where like we were in the same area and a lot of people were around, and I guess the news had spread because those girls didn't keep their mouth shut, and they like told everybody, and like they were like laughing, and then like he was just like, no, I don't like her. And I think that at the time I was just like, oh, maybe he was joking, like maybe somebody told him to tell me I was beautiful, like, you know. But then later on in life I realized that he obviously lied at that moment in time because everybody was freaking laughing, and he wasn't about to sit there and admit that he really did come up to me and say I was beautiful. So like I get it. I get it. So a lot of you may not know, but I'm Ghanaian and Ivorian. I grew up in church. Pretty much most of my friends, like the friends that I really did have growing up, were my church friends. Yo, if it wasn't for them, like I don't even know how I would have survived. Like I actually think that I actually really and seriously, truly might have been depressed if it wasn't for my church friends. Because my mom was like pretty much a youth pastor, so we went to the church. Like we went to church all the time, like during the week, on the weekend, you know. And so, and I enjoyed it. I wanted to go see my friends, you know what I mean? Like, and learn about the word of God. And so, yo, if it wasn't for them, y'all don't even know what I would have done. Shout out Church of Pentecost. Woo! Go Jesus. At school, like growing up, I just always felt so different than everybody. I guess that's why I just could never relate, you know? No matter how hard I tried, like, it's just never on my level. Just kidding. So 9th grade, 10th grade was kind of the same. That's when I met my best friend ever. And then junior, senior year, life was kind of getting better for me. That's when I was actually starting to grow into myself. Okay, so boom, we got 9th grade year, we got freshman year. Everything was a mess. You know, we got the sophomore years. Everything was still a mess, but I really wasn't that bad looking. I look back and I realized things were not that bad. And we get to junior and senior year, where I finally learned how to take care of myself and be well put together. Yet people were still talking about me. So, like, I could never win. High school was also a mess, too. People were just as mean. I didn't really like have like a really fun high school time. You know what I mean? People always made like sly remarks at me, like trying to be funny, but like really talking ish on the low. And just like why did the people care about me so much? Like I wasn't even popular, but there was so much to be said at me, so much. Like I remember once I got my hair done. I got blonde highlights in my hair for the first time, and I thought like it was really cute, and it was. I went to school and a lot of people just had so many reviews and so much to say, which is so crazy because I was a nobody. So it's like, why do you care? People were talking about it. I got mixed reviews, whatever. I go home and my friend from church who went to one of the schools in the county, and he like told me that people was talking about my hair, and they were talking like ish about my hair. And I'm just like, what? I don't even know anybody in that school except for the people that go to my church. Like, yo, that didn't even make any sense to me. Like the ways that people knew me and that I didn't even know anybody. I wasn't known the way that I wanted to be known, but then again, I could never relate. And I still can't relate to a lot of you. I'm still weird. So anyway, but graduation came. I thought I was gonna cry, but I didn't, because deep down, I was really happy that I was never gonna see most of those people ever again. But then I went to Georgia Gwinnett College, and I saw most of those people again. But it was different this time. It was different. My freshman year, I was fully blossomed. Life was good. Like, I really fully blossomed, and I didn't even realize it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just so humble about the way that I grew into myself, you know? And I didn't even realize it. And it's so crazy because I was beautiful the entire time. Isn't that crazy? The entire time I was beautiful. And I didn't even notice this. I was looking back at old videos that I used to make and as a teenager, and I was like, wow, this girl had and has such a bright future ahead of her. Like, this girl could really do anything. Like, her personality, beauty, brains, class. I mean, I really had it all. Like, I still have it all. It took me a long time to realize that, but shoot, I was always that girl. I've been lit, crazy, funny, intelligent, cute, all of that. And the sooner I realized that, the better life became. And life's been good for a long time. My life is beautiful, just like me. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Did you also feel like you had a really crazy, rough glow up? Or do you think that you was just beautiful your whole life? I mean, you just let me know, because I'm signing off. Bye.